Hi there. There could be multiple reasons for a person to start Amazon FBA business. There are certain metrics that you need to be aware of in order to build a business that is exit compliant, as in over a period of time, if you want to sell a business to any of the other buyers, your business should be fundamentally strong enough. In today's Connect, I'm going to talk about the metrics that you should be aware of in order to build exit compliant Amazon FBA businesses. Well, broadly looking into my screen, I have listed down few important metrics which can determine at what multiple are you going to exit your business. As in, if you really want to have a fundamentally strong business, you should be doing really well on each of the metrics that are mentioned in here, starting with profitability. When you talk about profitability, we are largely looking at two metrics. The first one being your contribution margin 3. I think we talked about contribution margin at length in my previous sessions. And then we are also talking about your EBITDA percentage. If you specifically look at your contribution margin 3, for us to regard your business to be doing so well, you need to have at least 27 and above CM3. Alright, and if you have more than 20% CM3, it means your business is doing well. Likewise, if your contribution margin 3 is under 15%, it means there is a lot of work to be done. It is better that you fix this component and then prepare yourself to sell your business. On similar lines, we have also defined certain metrics for your EBITDA percentage. If your EBITDA is greater than 20%, then you're doing so well. If your EBITDA is around 15 to 20%, it means that you're doing good. You can still have a good valuation when it comes to your exit. And then if your EBITDA is less than 10%, then you need to once again get back to your drawing board, understand why your EBITDA is so low, work towards improving it before you reach out to buyers in order to sell your business. And then moving on to the next section, growth. Here we are largely looking at three KPIs. One is your year-on-year growth. The second one is your month-on-month growth, and then your quarter-on-quarter growth. Understand, all these three KPIs are really important. If your growth across all these three KPIs is greater than 20%, it means you're doing great. And if your growth percentage across all these three KPIs is around 15%, it means that your business is doing very good. And then if these three metrics, as in if your growth is less than 10%, then maybe there is some work to do, as in you need to understand why is your business not growing. Is it because you are not continuously launching your products, or is it because your best performing SKU has reached that declining state and then there is an immediate need for you to innovate and gain the traction back. And then moving on to my next metric, which is my size of earnings. At this stage, I am looking at my profitability. How big is the business? Am I making $1 million in profit? If that is the case, you have a great business. If your profitability is around 500K, then it is a good business. Likewise, if your profitability is less than 200K, maybe you can grow your business a little further and then approach buyers in order to sell the business. Alright, and my next important metric is risk diversification. We all know that 20% of your SKUs generate 80% of your sales, isn't it? If that is the case, I want to understand how many SKUs are generating majority of my sales. If it is only one SKU, then my business is very risky, because tomorrow if Amazon all of a sudden, if they suppresses my hero SKU, then it will put my entire business at stake. Right? We don't want to get into those kinds of situations. So it's very important that you have handful of SKUs which are generating good number of sales. In that ways, your risk component is minimized because you are not dependent upon one SKU. You have multiple SKUs. Even if Amazon suppresses one SKU, it is not going to impact your business that much because you have other SKUs which are doing so well. Now here is the thing, I have seen n number of accounts with $1 million in revenues, they have just one or two hero SKUs. Now in case if you are also in that situation, you need to immediately work this out. Alright, and my last metric is channel diversification. Now here you want to understand what proportion of the sales are coming from which channel. If 100% of your sales are coming from Amazon, then you are at a big risk. If you have a couple of $1 million in revenue, then it becomes a no-brainer that you go and diversify. You don't want to have $1 million account and all of a sudden Amazon has suspended your listing or Amazon has deactivated your account. In that case, you are in a big trouble. You don't want to get into those situations, and that is exactly why once you start to do so well on the platform, it is very important that you diversify the channels and minimize the risks of operating an Amazon FBA business. Alright, I hope you learned something new today. If that is the case, I request you to subscribe to my channel and also share it with your friends. Have a nice day. Goodbye.